Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Thong Mun Yit, and today we'll be continuing on the topic of Bisaya, but we'll be talking about their taboo and education instead. So about their taboo is considered a really large impact on their lives since they don't really focus much on proper education. So they rely on their religion or their superstitions to keep them going on through their daily lives. So about their education, since they live in most rural areas, they learn more about their practical skills like how to hunt, how to farm, and all those instead of learning knowledges from books or about other things. So they learn how to survive instead of how to improve. And next on, I'll pass it to my group mate Loy, and he'll talk more about taboo. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Loy. Thank you, Manit. Now I'm going to present about Taboo of Bisaya. Bisaya have their own words to describe taboo, which is sagrado. It is mostly concerned on bringing good or bad luck. It is also different from generation to generation or places to places due to the different reasons of ethnicity residing in different houses. Okay, the first thing is respecting to the Mount Kinabalu. Bisaya that live in Sabah believe that Mount Kinabalu is sacred to them as it is the revered place of the dead. Okay, another one is not to shout, curse or make loud noises while climbing Mountain Kinabalu, as to avoid bad spirits from disturbing them or whoever is climbing with them. The third one is not to pluck any plants or pick any stones from the mountain and bringing it back home. Local believes that some plants or nature objects have residence in them. Taking them with you will only aggravate them and cause them to retail. Ask for permission before peeing or throwing your empty canister. You'll never know if the place you're throwing has spirits roaming around there or wherever it is. Okay, the second one is hunting in Borneo jungle. In olden days, man is the one who hunt food in Borneo jungle. Okay, he will need to be very careful when they spotted snake. This is because if the man meets a snake along his path, he will need to turn back home. Because meeting a snake is a bad sign. And if the man continues further to hunt, he will not catch anything or getting more worse consequences.
Thank you, Loy. Now I can continue talking about soji. Soji means penalty or fine. It's also considered as peace offering. Imposing a soji depends on what kind of mistake that particular individual did, such as fight, indecent acts, and so forth. The soji depends on how serious the individual offense is. The heavier is the offense, the heavier or bigger the penalty will be. For example, if a man were to marry a woman who is so far relation of them, they will need to cut a whole pig and offer the whole village a portion of cooked pork as compensation, as well as to wash away all the bad luck that may hit them in the future. However, both future bride and groom can't eat the pork. After Sojit, let us talk about funeral. Bisaya believe that when somebody died in certain village, everyone needs to be informed. Thus, nobody should do any kind of work on the day of funeral. And the dead body will be placed in the house for 3 days before burial. And the occupants in the house must stay awake to accompany the body because they believe that a devil will disgust in front of a large bird will fly away with the body. Bisaya believe that the spring of death is still wandering around the house for the last time. So, by keeping awake will show some respect to the dead. Moreover, cats are not allowed to near the dead body. This is to prevent the cats jump over the body, which Bisaya believe that the dead body will awake, but obviously poisoned by an evil spirit.
Thank you, Shavi. Now I'm going to continue about taboo, which Bisaya believe that the insect, which is butterfly, or you can call it as a moth, fly into their house in the middle of the night. It is actually a spirit of their recently departed relatives coming for a visit. From the past, the old folks believe and advise not to chase the moth out from the house or kill it as a way to respect their departed relative's spirit. Furthermore, the local also believe that when a moth came flying into their house during the day, it means the house owner will be expecting guests, either from a long-lost relatives or friends, coming into the house. Other than that, they also have other superstitions, which is first, which is whistling at night, which is prohibited because it will invite the devil in the form of a snake to come. And the second one will be children are not allowed to point to the rainbows using their fingers, because if they do, their fingers will be bent, become stiff. And the last one will be believe that some of the food must be shared with their guardians of the place before they eat in order to avoid getting sick when they return home.
Thank you, Alice. Now I will talk about education. Education is very important to everyone, especially the younger generation. So Sarawak Bisaya Associations, also known as PBS, they organize an education seminars every year for the youngest to pursue tertiary studies. This is to help them pick up a right course once they enroll in college or university. Next is North American Language Academics. They offer courses like Bisaya and other foreign language to let them learn about the language that they're interested. Other than that, is the education is about life. There are a lot of things that we can learn in our life. All those are considered as education too. The Bisaya know that breeds animals like chicken, ducks, and also buffalo is the long-term way to have foods in all times. They are also good in agriculture and also catching fish. They have their own traditional way to do it. They treasure their culture, traditions of medicines, marriage and death, but now they didn't really practice it. They also would not easily to move to a new place unless some bad things happens, like serious illness, and they will keep their house away from the river to prevent flood. It is all about the educations for Bisaya. Thank you, and now I will pass it back to Yit.
Well, to summarize what my group mates have presented, so as you can see, the taboo, it's mostly related to family members or friends who has passed away, or their natural daily activities such as hunting and so on. While the education, although there is some improvements, but it's still mostly related to some supernatural things, which I think there's still a long way to go before they reach the urban areas kind of level. Well, next week it will be our last presentation, which is about their society structure and economic activities. And I hope you guys can learn something from our video. Thank you.